What is happening right now? What is... Hold on. Hold on, wait. If it's after the class trial, hold on. Up, up. Up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start. Sorry, guys. Don't lose. She was trying to give herself infinite lives. That's the fucking Konami code. So it's true. Wait, no, that's true. Reality's breaking. Reality is breaking down around me. What is happening here? Guys? Hey, you're late. Is it true? Nagito really left another message? Kneel before Miss Sonia and thank her. She was the one who found it. I was going for a walk with Gundam's hamster, and I found it when I stopped by the factory. No. Reality is breaking down. Coincidence, you say? Wrong. That's the will of causality guiding you. That's it.
Huh?
Why would Miss Sonia be going for a walk with Gundam? I would never allow that. Anyway, yeah, you're right. Is it the trader from the Future Foundation? If so, congratulations. Looks like it ended the way I hoped it would. Ended the way he hoped it would. Naruto was trying to kill everyone except the traitor. Damn it, it was just as Monokuma said. So he really set up the traitor as the killer, and he even tried to make them survive the trial? But why would he do that? Huh? What is going on here? But if everyone but the traitor is watching this video, then unfortunately I guess I lost. That outcome is complete opposite of the hope I believe in. Well, not that it matters for me anymore. I mean, no matter what the outcome is, it doesn't matter for a dropout like me. Now then, let's put this meaningless introduction aside and get down to business. Since I don't know who I'm talking to, I'm going to speak so that both sides will understand. First of all, you might be wondering why I did what I did. Well, I just took action after talking about it for so long. The special prize in the final dead room allowed me to learn a certain truth. It'd be troublesome if everyone found out, so I already disposed of that page. But anyway, I was totally surprised. I mean... Oh, great. The Future Foundation's traitor must have known that truth all along. And so, I was able to learn the truth about this world and resolved to take action immediately. I shouldn't have made fun of Hajime. Deep down, I always wanted to become a protagonist myself. Check the web for details. But now I know the truth as I look back on Monokuma's actions. I'm starting to see what he's planning. By giving us information about the island's mystery in the Future Foundation, he's raising all your hopes. But only so he can lead you to unimaginable despair. Plus, Monokuma's trying to show that despair to someone. Perhaps that someone is... I need to read this all. Seriously pissing me off. Seriously pissing me off. Hell and Ant believes in something odd, like this is only so happy it's happy. Oh, happy oars. What? Jeez, what a hopeless truth. Who's Monokuma's true identity? How could they come up with a plan like that? But that's enough reflecting on the past. Let's talk about the future now. If you want to escape Monokuma's plan, there's a certain specific place you need to go to. The key to enter that place is that message you found at Nezumi Castle. Normally you need to follow a bunch of steps to enter that place, But since that message gets rid of those steps, you can think of it as an Easter egg or something. It's probably left by someone other than Monokuma or Monami. But that has nothing to do with me. You guys still think you're not gonna add 13 or something? Stop it, don't stop. What? I had to hide this until my plan came to an end, but I guess now's a nice time to announce it, right? So then, I'll announce the password. Fucking excuse me? Excuse me. No. You cannot just pull that 11037 bullshit. No. That's the password that was written in Izumi Castle. You have to use that to enter that specific place. That's the only way you can escape Monokuma. I feel like I've been talking forever, but that's all for me. With this, my duty's finished. I believe my actions will become the foundation of this world's hope. And if that really happens, praise me. Tell others what I've accomplished. Erect a bronze statue of me, I don't care. Respect me. Please call me the ultimate hope. This was Nagito's final message. That 11037 number that Nagito said was the password. There's no mistaking. Mihiru! Oh my god! You better hurry, I think. Let's go before the countdown reaches 0. You're right, let's go. Oh my god, what the fuck is happening? This sounds vaguely familiar. What? Oh, it's that, the video game in Chapter 2? It would be Chapter 2. Yeah, so it's the thing from Chapter 2. It's like tinny old arcade music. Have we been playing a video game this entire fucking time? Well, I've been playing a video game this entire time. Of course I have. And there's no name. Is all this fake or something? I'm checking for signs of the world breaking down around me now. Somehow, it's quite nerve-wracking. Is it really safe to go inside? What's gonna be in there? It's so unreliable to be freaked out like that. You're a man, aren't you? Mihiru, it's so good to see you again. Yes! My boy! My guy! Damn right, it's our last chance to get inside. I'm starting to feel nauseous from the thrills, the chills, the kills. You're crazy, but holy fuck, it's good to see you. If you're gonna let it out, why not do it in the okay. I missed you. But you immediately ruined it. Wait, does that mean... Peko? Yes! Fuck yeah! And the first time we see her in, like, 3 chapters. And we see her smiling. Fuck yes. Let's go forward together. Hell, don't treat me like a kid. Dude, who's not Byakuya Tagami? I'm so happy right now, but I know this is all fake. What was that? I told her that you only understand piggy talk. You know, even though I hate you, it's good to see you too, Scyther head. I said you're so cool in piggy talk. I'm going to kill. Yeah, I know. Wait, why do I have to enter it in? 11037, right? There's no need for you to worry. The only thing beyond this point is shining future. Now, let's open the door to the future. What? Beyond this door, the future's waiting. A sparkling future. Now then, let's move forward. As if.
ここは裁判場か？でもどうして裁判場なんだ？
確かに裁判場っぽいけど、でも今までのとは明らかに雰囲気が違うっつうか。
ところで。
What?
皆さんはどこに行ってしまわれたのですか？
皆さん？
What? Something's wrong? What did I do? No, that's not it. I'm not the weird one. What's really weird is... It would be wrong to say it was swaying from side to side. It was actually shaking rather intensely. The room I was in. It was shaking from side to side. What is going on here? The shaking was quite irregular. Just when you thought it was a series of small shakes, that is getting very annoying. It would suddenly shake violently. And every time that happened, I'd have to steady myself with my foot. I couldn't stand up very well, but for me it was comforting. I never thought not knowing what to expect could be so fun, so I was feeling rather excited. Is this Kamida? But I figured I'd get bored of that feeling soon enough. That was what I was expecting. For me, a person who is loved by it's Kamida. Detecting irregularities among irregularities wouldn't be that difficult. How boring. I knew it! Do you like ships? On the other side of that dark room, I heard a voice. It was clearly directed at me. You looked like you were having fun, so that's what I assumed. You do like ships, right? Okay, so it wasn't Kamida talking, it was someone else. Ships. Ah, that's right. That's it. So this is a ship. You just realized that now? Is it really that funny? Hey, if you want, care to talk a little? The silence was starting to bore me. Instantly, I saw his true character. The overfamiliar attitude, the familiar smile. But under that thin skin, I could detect a foul, offensive odor, like some kind of putrid slime. In a sensible way, of course. What? How should I put this? It was a smell exclusive to those who were already finished. Nice to meet you. I'm Nagito Kamida. Anyway, lucky me. It's been a while since anyone was willing to talk to me, so to share a room with a person like that. Yep, I'm definitely lucky. Lucky? Ah, so that's your talent then. What a boring talent. Boring talent, huh? Well, that's exactly what it is. But for someone I'm meeting for the first time to say that so suddenly, that's because I have luck as well. What? Huh? Even I possess a talent as boring as luck. Possess, huh? I'm starting to get really interested. Who are you? You're obviously from Hope's Peak Academy too, right? So you're one of us? But that's weird. This is the first time I've ever seen you. Hey, can you tell me why you're here? How did you end up here? How boring. Sorry, I'm often told I'm terrible at making conversation. You're good at making traps, though. But what is this? Is this before the school trip? Or the island trip, I guess? Not you. This world. Huh? This world is full of boring people. People who lack talent stick together and oppress those who do possess talent. Even though they know they're insignificant, they don't try to acknowledge their true superiors. They're profoundly desperate to drag them down into their level. And because of these bastards, this world has come to a deadlock. This world has stopped evolving. Who is this? How boring. Well, the world is shaped by the will of the majority. It makes sense that it bends to those who lack talent. That's why we're in our present situation. What is your present situation? You're on a boat. Perhaps, does that have anything to do with the reason you're here? Boring people make no contributions to the world. Not even a speck of dust. That's why my teachers taught me that a certain degree of selection must be performed. Looks like they had high expectations for you, huh? That's completely different from me. But what are you planning to do? Now that you've ended up like this, there's nothing you can do, right? Listen well. Using people is a talent too. It's now my turn to use that person just as they used me in the past. Who? What is this? That person. Are you talking about Ultimate Despair? What the fuck? But how? I mean, they're already... I have it with me. The contribution that person left to me, even now it rests in my pocket. I don't know what you're talking about. Me neither. I'm definitely lucky. I can't believe I'm speaking with someone as amazing as you. Oh, don't get closer, please. Then, will I be able to see her again? Okay, Kamaida, I love your nails, but... What the fuck? Will I be able to see the person I hate with every fiber of my being again? Damn, saying he hates someone. Also, I'm just noticing your hair's white. It might be shadow, but it looks like your hair's brown on the other side of you. You see what I'm talking about? And this time, will I be able to kill her this time? The person I hate so much? Hate? Then, explain your hand. Ah, this? The end of that bandage is a woman's hand, right? Isn't it amazing? I can't move it, of course. I mean, it's not my hand, after all. But even now, it still hasn't rotted. Hey, maybe that means it's becoming one with me. Isn't it amazing? I've successfully become one with Ultimate Despair, my sword... Is that Junko's arm? Kamaida? I see, so you salvaged the body. You really are a boring person. I don't want you to misunderstand. I just see her as my enemy, you know? Because she's my sworn enemy. Because I hate her so much. That's why I took her power. And for that I... Wait, huh? Do I hate her? Huh? That's strange. Huh? Look at the window. We're finally here. You're starting to see it too, right? That's Jabberwock Island, isn't it? Isn't it exciting? I wonder what's going to happen on that island once we get here. Or once we get there. What's going to happen? I can already predict what will happen. Huh? I already know because I'm loved by talent. But no matter what happens, it is of no concern to me. I will not be able to participate in what lies ahead. Really? I don't really understand, but I guess we have to part ways for a while. That's disappointing. We seem to get along pretty well. Hey, can I see you again? There's no reason we'll ever meet again. After all, you are boring. Your talent, your thoughts, your entire existence is boring to me. Whoever this is, I agree. I like you. You're putting Kamida in his place. All at the same time, it seems like you two are getting along, so I don't know what to feel. You really don't play along, do you? Huh? What is this? It's a door! We were here before. There's a door. A door? Why is a door here? Where am I? How did I get here? Where am I supposed to go? Huh? Isn't this a classroom? But even so, it's a very strange classroom. Why am I in a place like this? I went inside that ancient ruin with everyone else. And I arrived at a place that looked like a trial ground. But then, why? It's not connecting. I don't know why I'm here. It's like there's no connection between how I left the trial ground and how I ended up here. It's just like before. When we were all gathered in that classroom just before we arrived at Jabberwock Island. But where is this place? Is it somewhere on Jabberwock Island? You would hope. Oh. It's glitching out like crazy. Huh? Did he say what I think he just said? Yeah, he definitely said it. He said, "Welcome to Hope Speak Academy." But why would this place be Hope Speak Academy? And not just that. What is the graduation exam? Isn't the killing over already? Which room is this? Isn't this the one where, like... Oh, wait. Is this the one that had all the blood and everything? Old building, first floor. Even the hallway doesn't feel like a school at all. What a creepy place. At least, it doesn't look like a normal school at all. It's definitely a lie. There's no way this place is Hope Speak Academy. Is this creepy place the Hope Speak Academy that I've admired for so long? It's probably a building that Monokuma made startle us, just like the funhouse. That's right, that's definitely it. Monokuma said to come to the gymnasium, right? Then I'll go and definitely clear things up. Despair Hotel. Okay. If I remember the layout of this place correctly, that's the trial ground. The all-seeing eye of the AV room. It is so weird being back in this building. Oh my, and it's like I never left. That is scary. Nurse. I'm looking for any Monokumas. Do you have any for me? Please, spare Monokuma, please. So I only have access to the first floor. Okay. The gymnasium is here, right? Alright, I'm going inside. Something might be waiting, but I'm not going to cower away anymore. And so I brace myself and cautiously open the door. Are we inside a computer or something? What the f— This is the end. Goodbye, Academy of Despair. Yeah, I think we're in a computer. I wasn't prepared for what was waiting for me on the other side of that door. It was a normal gymnasium. Guys! Hajime! You heard the announcement and came here too, right? You guys did it too, right? What do you make of all this? Monokuma said this place was a Hope Speak Academy or something? That can't be possible. You're right. Any way you look at it, it's impossible. Hello, how does it feel to return to the long-awaited Hope Speak Academy? You. Hey, where are we? Where'd you lock us up this time? What a shock. I just told you guys this is Hope Speak Academy. There's no way in hell that's true. Oh, but that is. I mean, this is definitely Hope Speak Academy. Well, what's left of it anyway? What's left of it? Oh, didn't I tell you before? Unfortunately, Hope Speak Academy fell to ruin. You were serious about that? No, I don't believe it either, Tiny Nekamaru. But of course it fell to ruin. I mean, they were doing things that they deserved to be ruined for. What do you mean? Anyway, I'm pretty disappointed. I went to all this trouble to bring you to Hope Speak Academy, and you don't feel surprised or nostalgic. Oh well, it's not like I did this for you guys. Even if you don't feel nostalgic, I'm sure someone is feeling nostalgic right now. Someone? Enough with this bullshit. Just spit it out already. Where'd you take us, you bastard? Though I'm not certain of my memories, I believe we entered this ancient ruin and... It means... I made this Hope Speak Academy between the door to the ruin and inside the ruin. What do you mean between? What do you mean made? Oh my, are you minds getting the grumblies that only knowledge can satisfy? I hate this reference. Good, very good. It's fine to hurry along to the graduation exam, but it's in my nature to provide a little entertainment. Entertainment? You're planning to make us do something, aren't you? There's nothing to be so cautious about. It's not like you'll be making life exchanges or anything like that. It's just a simple graduation exam. Then, what is the graduation exam? Well, as the headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy that you're finally going to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island, or stay here. Huh? We're obviously gonna get out. There's no way we'd stay here. This is just annoying. Hurry up and let us choose. Let us choose right now. You can't do that. The main cast hasn't arrived yet. Main cast? Meaning, you guys are just extras until the guest of honor arrives. So enough complaining of her already. Hurry up and start researching the outside world. What do you mean? I've dispersed all the teaching materials you need for your research throughout Hope Speak Academy. Well, I don't think this needs to be said, but all the information is accurate and contains no lies whatsoever. Otherwise, the main cast is going to hate me. So, please rest assured and strive to do your best during your field trip. And as usual, after leaving us with his cryptic words, Monokuma disappeared. Even if the setting had changed, even if the killing was finished, he was still the same as usual. What's going on? Outside world? Main cast? Somehow I have a bad feeling about this.
Oi, oi.
Why is it glitching like that? Like, he kept insisting that this place is Hope's Peak Academy. But that's impossible, right? How to make it back to Hope's Peak Academy from a tropical island in the first place? It's impossible. There's no place for Hope's Peak Academy to exist on Jabberwock Island. I said I wanted to go back, but I don't want to go back to a creepy place like this. What does this mean? So many things I don't understand have happened on this island. This building is really Hope's Peak Academy? This is the Hope's Peak Academy I've been admiring for so long? What in the world's going on? Damn it, why is this happening? Why? I was finally able to attend Hope's Peak Academy. I finally thought I'd become confident in myself. Even so, I wanted to become Hope. If that's what you're thinking, just stop. Listen carefully. The only humans worthy of becoming Hope possess amazing talents and a strong will. And the moment you're born into this world, you either have that or you don't. It has nothing to do with effort. You must be chosen by Hope to become Hope. That's why it's not even worth admiring. Or were you so blinded by your admiration for Hope's Peak Academy that you couldn't even see that? You're just some nobody from the reserve course who had never had talent to begin with. A nobody who forgot he was a nobody. That's all. If I really am a nobody, then you should have just left me alone. Why do I have to go through something like this? Hajime? Did something happen? Huh? Now's not the time to zone out. Sorry, it's nothing. I don't really get it, but is that all? As long as I don't have to beat the crap out of Monokuma, nothing's gonna be solved. Is that what this means? Just what the heck is Monokuma already? Or anyway, he's not part of the Future Foundation, right? If you say that, then what is the Future Foundation? Even though Chiaki and Monami are gone, our situation hasn't changed one bit. Which means the Future Foundation wasn't our enemy. That's the only thing I can think of. So they're not World Ender? Then we really were tricked by Monokuma? However, the Future Foundation is responsible for trapping us on this island, right? Regarding that matter, I believe Monami never once denied that. Even if they're our allies, they might not just be allies. Maybe Monokuma's telling us to investigate that information on our own. Chiaki said she couldn't betray the Future Foundation. But if she were still alive, she definitely would have helped us. No, even her just being with us would have been a big help. So, what should we do? Well, that's obvious. If we're gonna get out of here safely, we have to do that graduation exam, right? Graduation exam, huh? I'm not really good at taking exams. Well, I guess it's better than people dying. Monokuma said something about a field trip, right? Is he telling us to investigate like we have been? Alright, I'm gonna do it. Hell yeah, Mekamaru. Yeah, we might be able to learn about something. About Hope's Peak Academy, about ourselves. And we'll learn that the Hope was really the friends we made along the way. I don't care if we don't know anymore. If we can just go back to our normal lives, I'm fine. Hey, we can go home when this is over, right? We can finally get off this damn island, right? If that's the case, let's all just leave this island. Let's all leave this island by any means. Hell yes. Got it, Sonia. He's right. Now's not the time to bemoan how unlucky I am. Where this place really is, what's happened to Hope's Peak Academy, None of that matters. What's important is, I need to leave this island with the others. We sacrificed so many lives in order to survive just so we could do that. There's no way we can stop now. But Monokuma should already know that's what we're thinking. So why did he say that? We have to decide on our own whether or not we want to leave Jabberwock Island. He should already know that we'd never choose to stay on this island. So what are we going to do? Can we start already? But what are we even looking for? Do we just have to investigate this weird-ass building? Even so, I don't think we'll find the answers to all our questions inside this damn building. Well, let's go on ahead for now. You're already going? What was that idiot thinking running on ahead without being cautious? She obviously isn't thinking about anything. It'll be fine. There will no longer be any situation where we misexchange each other's lives. So we should do our best as well. When they say, it's not scary if everyone stops at a green light. What? If we stopped at the green light, we'd never reach our goal. Connie already took off on her own. It might be faster if we split up and look around too. Like Sonya said, if there's no more killing, we don't have to worry about betraying anyone about anyone betraying us anymore. Then let's get this over with and go home. I'll go on ahead. I'll see you guys later. With those brief words, Fuyuhiko left the gym. I shall do my best to obtain a wonderful clue that will be useful to everyone. Now then, please excuse me. Sonya took a deep bow and then left the gymnasium. Miss Sonya. I'll be in danger if I'm left alone. That's... You still don't get it. 21 days later and you still don't get it. Kazuichi chased after Sonya, who just departed, and left the gym. I should hurry and start too. Just a bit more. Just a bit more and it's going to end. I can escape this nightmare and return to my usual peaceful everyday life. The only thing we can do is advance toward that hope. Even though I don't understand, and that a lot of horrifying things kept happening, and that I sounded like Kamida just there. For the sake of everyone who couldn't make it this far, I'm definitely going to go home. Haha! I knew it. I knew you were going to be somewhere around here. Okay, so if everything's open now... Fifth floor? Huh? That's weird. This is the hallway I walked through to get to the gym, but it's clearly different. Is this Monokuma's doing too? Is he trying to confuse us again? I don't know how he's doing it, but he keeps doing it over and over again. He's so persistent. But I'm not going to fall for his trap. There's no way this will make me back down. Yeah, but reality's breaking down around us, my guy, so... At this point, having Monokuma mess with us is about the only reassuring thing I have. This hallway, there's a strange feeling to it, no? As if an invisible wall has been erected to limit our movement. Is it just me? Nah, you're valid. Hold on, so I know the archery thing is right there. Is it this classroom or is it that freezer that's the... Let's go. Okay, so that's blocked for right now. This is the classroom that has all the blood in it, if I remember correctly. I wonder which room I'm supposed to be going in. Is this a dojo? It's full of strange things that make me think there's no way we're inside a school. Perhaps it's a mistake to expect the inside of this building to make sense. There are a bunch of wooden lockers here. Each of them has a traditional-looking wood block key sticking out of them. I guess they're just for show. There's nothing in particular that looks like a clue. I'm just interested in looking for Monokumas. What's this? Is this a manga? The title is Manga for Morons, A History of Hope Speak Academy by Monokuma. Why is a manga with such a suspicious-looking title laying out in the open like this? Let's start with the history first, class. Reading manga is the third best way to learn about history. Then what's the first, you ask? That depends on the person. Thank you for nothing, you useless bear. So just as I thought, Monokuma made this. That totally explains how suspicious it looks. I really want to just ignore it, but there's no way I can do that. Fine, I'll look at it. I'll look at anything that might be a clue to getting out of here, no matter what it is. I picked up the manga off the floor and started flipping through the pages. It's an introduction to Hope Speak Academy's history, as narrated by the cutesy character on the cover. The story begins with an introduction to Hope Speak Academy. Hope Speak Academy is a government-funded school of privilege where only the most talented high school students can hope to attend. Built to raise hope in the nation's future, many of its alumni are key leaders of various industries. New students are chosen through a scouting process, but the ones who scout them are Hope Speak Academy's teachers, who serve as both educators and researchers of talent. Hope Speak Academy isn't just a school for talent, it's also a school for researching talent as well. However, for the past few years, Hope Speak Academy has been suffering from a decline in funding. If this persists, the Academy believes they will not be able to make progress with their research of talent. So they decided to implement a new system, the Reserve Department. Unlike the main department who scouts for students, the Reserve Department utilizes a general entrance exam. Normal faculty was hired and placed in charge of looking after the Reserve Department. The expenses and exam fees of the Reserve Department are quite high compared to most high schools. Nevertheless, Hope Speak Academy received an endless stream of applicants. Hope Speak Academy was now available to talentless commoners, people who only cared about the brand. With this, Hope Speak Academy managed to amass sizable funds and began further research of talent. To create Hope Speak Academy's earnest wish, a true genius who would become mankind's hope. But just when they thought everything was going well, an unprecedented incident occurred. The incident that triggered the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. That's right, it was the tragedy of Hope Speak Academy. Hope Speak Academy was crippled by this incident and was forced to shut down without accomplishing anything. The end. Huh? The ending was so sudden, like a manga that suddenly cancelled in the middle of its run. Plus, these phrases mentioned at the end of this manga. The tragedy and the tragedy of Hope Speak Academy. These names are so melodramatic. There's no way these incidents really happened, right? This manga only mentions the names, so I don't really know the details, but no, it'd be a waste of time to wonder about things that don't make sense. More importantly, I learned something because of this manga. The Reserve Department. That department was only built to collect money. I was one of those Reserve Corps students, right? That's weird. Oh, you're here again. Ah, the thing that's weird is you, of course. Huh? Why did you forget that you were part of the Reserve Department? The Future Foundation only took away your school life memories, right? But you should have known even before you entered that you had no talent, right? So, I think it's weird that you actually forgot something like that, too. What do you want me to say? Based on my assumption, the Future Foundation must have wanted to hide the fact that you were one of those Reserve Corps students. Or he lost his memory beforehand, and then he got taken for all this. But that makes no sense because I don't know anything. Or you willingly sealed those memories. Exactly. Huh? You wanted to be confident in yourself, so you wanted to forget everything that embarrassed you. You know, when humans experience trauma, sometimes they erase their memory of what happened. It happens pretty often. Not like I'd know anything about that, though. Are you saying it's my fault I forgot? That's not it. When things get inconvenient, you always get angry and try to brush it off. Well, that's expected of a reserve corps student. Damn it, what the heck? Alright, well, there's nothing else to be gained here, so peace out. You know, honestly, Hope's Peak is not the good people in this situation. They're just a bunch of jackasses. It was a smart business decision to get funding through that means, but it's still really scummy to do. That door's open. This hallway's kind of creepy. I can't go to places I should be able to go to. It's like some rules being enforced for no reason. It's like there's an invisible wall or something. Yeah, gee, I wonder... I fucking wonder what's going on. I have no idea. It's a mystery. Okay. So first we had a manga, and now we have a detective novel, I'm guessing. The Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. This one is manga for morons, Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy, huh? Wasn't the tragedy? Yes, it was. It's why Hope's Peak Academy went bankrupt, and it was the trigger for the biggest, most tragic, most awful event in human history. 5 ever. If I read this manga, will I be able to learn a little more about that incident? Took the manga from the desk and started flipping through the pages to see what I could learn about the event known as the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. The story made heavy use of outdated stylized drawings depicting characters solving mysteries. What's written here is, as the name suggests, the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy occurred at Hope's Peak Academy. The key player in that event was a student named Izuru Kamakura. That name is popping up a lot more recently now. Izuru was a genius known as the Symbol of Hope. Hope's Peak Academy used all their resources to develop him. Supposedly, Izuru was a genius among geniuses and possessed various talents. Wielding superior talent for the hope of mankind, the Academy referred to Izuru as the Ultimate Hope. To protect such a rare talent, the Academy completely concealed all evidence of Izuru's origins and identity. Because of that, most of the students at the Academy were completely unaware of his existence. But Izuru, who was known as the Symbol of Hope, was responsible for a horrible incident. 13 students of Hope's Peak Academy Student Council, among the Academy's best and brightest, were brutally murdered by Izuru. However, the incident did not stop there. The Academy tried to protect Izuru's superior talent and concealed the incident as though it never happened. However, a certain student began working in secret to use that incident to their advantage. That student uncovered what the Academy did, and by making that knowledge public, it stoked the fires of Reserve Corps students who had long been dissatisfied with how they'd been treated. And the uprising began. And that heralded Hope's Peak Academy's destruction. This is the entirety of the Tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy. Eventually, that incident would lead to that horrifying, devastating incident. The incident that would be known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history 5 ever, really, I promise. Works cited Danganronpa 0. And I read that, so all of that I have seen and witnessed. But I still don't know who Izuru Kamakura is. With a heavy sigh, I closed the manga. Am I supposed to believe this? There's no way 13 people were killed at Hope's Peak Academy. What irony! For a genius known as the Ultimate Hope to cause such a gruesome incident. A talent like that's too regal for society. It's like trying to buy juice with a bar of gold. You should be lucky that you're incompetent. He always has to lead up to something offensive. But ultimate hope. Nagano mentioned that before too, but it looks like it means something completely different in here. What Nagano said was the true meaning of hope. But for Izuru, hope simply means talent. More importantly, a genius who possesses various talents. I wish they'd given me one of those talents so I didn't have to be in the reserve department. Yeah, if they can give a dude multiple talents, why can't they give the top reserve corps students talent? Like, is that, or what did he have them before? I don't know. That's right, the reserve department. Here it said the reserve corps students in the reserve department began uprising. Then what about me? Was I a participant too? No, that's not possible. There's no way. I have no reason to do something like that. Well, I guess we'll find out in the trial. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history 5 ever remix final edition is a far worse incident, right? What kind of incident was it? And who's this other student that isn't Izuru? A certain student who secretly used the incident to their advantage. Who is that? This incident is really messed up, but all it's doing is raising more questions. The mysteries just keep piling up. Okay, so for those of you who haven't read Danganronpa 0, I believe I have a link to a translation you can read in PDF form. I'll leave that in the comments or in the description. I highly recommend you go read it because it is really fucking good. Your boy Makoto's there. You follow a Ditz, who is the main character, quote unquote. And there's a brain surgeon. So I highly recommend you go read that if you ever get the chance, because it's really good. But this other student is most likely Junko, because who else would do something like this? Let's see, what's unlocked now? Anything? Hello? Aha! What the hell's with this room? It's freaking cold in here. It's like I'm in a freezer or something. If I just stand still, I might end up freezing to death. I sure up and investigate so I can get out of here already. Hey, look, a tarp. Looks like a plastic tarp. Why is it left out like this? Clean up after yourselves, will you? Damn. Hajime just roasting people. In a freezer. I've seen this in movies before. It's a refrigerator for preserving dead bodies. At least is what it looks like, but that's not possible, right? Keeping dead bodies in a high school biolab isn't something you should joke about. It just feels so forced. This idea should have been cancelled during development or something. What am I thinking? You sneaky little bastard. Do you have to find 5 or 6 Monokumas in a chapter? I can't remember. There's another manga just lying around here. This time the title is Manga for Morons, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history? I knew it. The next one would obviously be about this incident. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event. Just what was that incident really about? It might turn out to be something lame. I flipped through the pages of the manga and hoped that I was right. A story about creepily drawn characters who get involved in such horrifying incidents. An incident known as the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history, final chapter prologue, battle for Middle-earth, rise of the Witch King, Shippuden, goodbye despair. Is this drawn so grotesquely because the incident itself is that grotesque? Anyway, the beginning of this creepy manga starts with this sentence. The tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was simply the trigger. At first, the uprising by the Reserve Corps students that triggered the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy was initially hoped to be resolved quickly, But the situation continued to escalate to dangerous extremes. The movement started spreading all over the internet and fostered a thriving online community. The community was not limited to students, and people of various races and nations began joining in. But the movement was not confined to the internet and began spreading and eroding the real world. When the movement started, it was indistinguishable from any other demonstration inspired by social unrest. But as it spread across the world, certain abnormalities soon came to light. By then it was too late. The ends and the means had vanished, and wanton destruction became their only goal. Strong butchered the weak killed the weakest among them, and soon the weak formed factions to brutally murder the strong. As violence and death continued to spread, the shock of their actions began to disappear. As if the era was regressing to more uncivilized times, when senseless deaths were the norm. The media was oversaturated with deaths to the point that where people would watch them while enjoying a meal. By the time the world realized what it had become, it was too late to stop what had happened. A feeling of immense despair began spreading and eventually engulfed the world. Acts of terrorism, coup d'etats began occurring around the world. War waged in the name of despair. A war fought not for principles, religion, or personal gain. Just war. Pure war. And war never changes. And because of that, there was no way to resolve it. How could a movement started by a high school student progress to such a hopeless scenario? The only explanation is the existence of a certain organization, devoted to a certain student who influenced Hope Speak Academy, a group called Ultimate Despair. Instead of using Hope Speak Academy's talents for the sake of mankind's hope, they used them for the sake of mankind's despair. Key members of society used their influence to brainwash the masses in order to spread despair. Tech-savvy computer programmers wrote software to spread despair. The powerful and influential created new values and morals to spread despair. And with this, they created the tragedy, the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. As long as ultimate despair exists, the despair engulfing the world will never end. The tragedy will never end. My heart was racing in my chest, but my body felt ice cold. Most likely because you're in a freezer, but we're gonna ignore that. Okay, never mind, you called me out. The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history. This is definitely all made up. I mean, if this is really true, then what's happening in the outside world? My family, my friends, the convenience store I frequent, the nearby bookstore, my favorite restaurant? What's happened to them? Hey, are you seriously yelling at a manga? How crazy are you? Who would enjoy reading something like this? Oh my, you don't like manga? Nerd? A high school student who doesn't like manga is like an office lady who doesn't like to eat candy. Enough. What is this messed up manga? I thought you'd obviously know about such a horrible event that destroyed the world, but for you not to remember that, such despair. Not the Future Foundation's fault, though. Thanks to them for stealing your school memories. The incident that happened during that period has been completely removed from your brains. This incident really happened, and I actually forgot about it? There's no way that's possible. How many times do I have to tell you? All the clues here are real. Please understand, I'm rooting for you. If you don't learn about the full extent of the outside world, you guys will suffer for it. I just want to help you guys so you can live well-adjusted lives in the outside world. I see. So that's how it is. That's what he meant by what he said at the beginning. Well, as a headmaster, I'm conflicted, you know. On one hand, I'm really happy you're about to graduate. But on the other hand, I'm worried about whether you guys will be okay in the outside world. That's why I'm thinking about telling you what the outside world is like before you make a decision. Whether you want to leave Jabberwock Island or stay here. Side note, it would have been a really funny callback if when we enter the gym, he popped out like he did in the first game. It would have been good. They missed out on that. He's trying to make us feel despair toward the outside world so we'll want to stay on the island. But there's no way I'm going to do what he wants. Despair like that simply can't exist. The outside world should be filled with hope. Now Kamida lives inside me. Just like now. Perhaps... No, that's definitely it. Whether or not this incident really happened, what in the world is this Ultimate Despair group? If they're devoted to a certain student who guided Hopespeak Academy to its destruction, are they connected to both the tragedy and the tragedy of Hopespeak Academy? One would assume. Plus, that organization isn't just one person, but a group of people. But if they're known as Ultimate Despair, they're high school students, right? Well, if they were actually able to do it, then I guess that's why they were called Ultimates. Then, are the killings we're involved in connected to them as well? It's no use, I'm gonna freeze to death. I'm at my limit, I need to get out of here. Shivering, I ran out of the freezing room. Good thing I grabbed that Monokuma before we left. That was close. I nearly froze to death. So where should I go next? Is that door unlocked? Nope, door's still frozen. Oh, 5B's open. Let's rock and or roll. Oh, this is the room I started in. Nope, I should ignore it. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see him. Hi, Fuyuhiko. When I went inside this room, that bastard bear was suddenly here. He keeps glancing at me. Wonder why. It's gonna be shitty either way. So I'll let you handle it. There's no way I'm gonna deal with that idiot. I don't want to do it either. But since I'm the protagonist, that's kind of what I have to do. What do you want, bear? Why, hello, Hajime. I hope you're doing pleasingly well. Are you pleasingly well? You're pleasingly well, right? What are you doing here? Well, there was another thing I needed to tell you on this floor. I got bored of drawing manga. Can you forgive me for telling you by word of mouth? You should have done that from the beginning. I didn't want to read your manga in the first place. A high school student who doesn't like manga is like a sumo wrestler who doesn't like eating hot pots. I'm getting really fed up with your babbling. Hurry up, what did you need to tell me? It's about that key piece of information you've been waiting so long for. Surprise, it's about Ultimate Despair. Huh? Even though the term Ultimate Despair refers to the group these days, it was originally the title for a high school girl who was the most powerful, evil, and feared person alive. High school girl? Lady Junko Enoshima. Junko Enoshima? As a former Ultimate Despair, she created a despair brimming with charm and humor, and created the Ultimate Despairs. There was really only one horrible person in that group. Hold on a sec. I don't know what the Ultimate Despairs are, but it's not that easy to form an organization. There's no way people would join some fucked up organization created by a high school girl. Well, I mean, cults exist for lesser reasons. Humans who are obsessed with their philosophy have an uncanny power to attract others. It's a trait shared by many famous leaders throughout history, right? There's nothing strange about it. That holds true for Lady Junko. So you're not being controlled by Junko, you're actually just referring to her. Or... I don't fucking know, you're just some fanboy, I guess. With her charismatic ability to attract up people, she even influenced those in the highest echelons of power. Her connections were the main reason that the incident became the tragedy in the first place. So she even recruited people who would have been in a position to neutralize the threat? Then what was their purpose? What? Like I said, why did they cause that incident? It doesn't even make sense. They had a purpose, right? There's no way they do what they did without any purpose. It was Lady Junko Enoshima's despair. Huh? For Junko Enoshima, despair isn't about purpose, a set of principles, a way of life, or an instinct. Despair is what defines Junko Enoshima as Junko Enoshima. What are you saying? I'm a stuffed plushie. Hajime is a human. It's exactly like that. Junko Enoshima is full of so much despair that she's truly hopeless. Living, dying, eating, loving. For her, everything is despair. What the hell? With her overwhelming force of personality, Junko recruited the ultimate despairs one by one. She controlled their despair by taking advantage of their love, hate, grudges, anything really. Junko's despair is far more dreadful than any other. That idea had been slammed right into their minds. And so, the ultimate despairs who had been recruited became nothing more than Junko's limbs. All despair, whether it was their own or anyone else's, was dedicated to Junko Enoshima. Like believers making offerings to their god. Like a mother providing food for her children. They dedicated all despair so they could escape from despair. All in Junko Enoshima's name. For example, they killed their families and friends and even destroyed their bodies through relentless mutilation. And to hopelessly top it off, they completely believed it was something they had to do. There's no way something that crazy is possible. Do you know about the final days of the Reserve Corps students during the tragedy of Hope's Peak Academy? Final days. Junko has the power to change people's values. This is also true of famous people throughout history. What do you mean final days? What happened to the Reserve Department? They fulfilled their role as disposable limbs. They believed in what they needed to do. And so the 2,357 students of the Reserve Department all committed mass suicide. Mass suicide? All 2,357 students? Oops, it wasn't all of them. One person was excluded. One person was excluded, huh? I wonder when that person is. Is that me? I don't believe it. There's no way I can believe it. Ultimate despair. Junko Enoshima. It doesn't scare me at all. I mean, Junko Enoshima is already dead. Huh? They had to use the Queen Enoshima sprite, didn't they? So Junko Enoshima's dead. Huh, I wonder how that happened. Fuyuhiko, is it true what you said? Junko Enoshima's already dead?
Huh?
What? You didn't see? There was a book called Manga for Morons Killing School Life in that bloody classroom. A bloody classroom? No, wait, what was that you said about the killing school life? Like the killings we were involved in, they were killings that happened at Hope's Peak Academy. As I recall, the mastermind took her own life because the remaining students worked together to defeat her. Yeah, that's what it was. The killing school life ended up failing in the end. As a result, the 6 students who survived managed to escape from the academy. For a manga about the killing school life, it was drawn with a lot of silly images and dumb gags. According to that, the mastermind behind the failed killing school life was Junko Enoshima. The mastermind took her own life, which means Junko Enoshima is dead. It turns out that killing school life was part of that whole biggest, most awful whatever incident. Thank you for finally saying what everyone else thinks. Because I do not like saying the biggest, most awful, most tragic, most eventful history in human history. Wait, what did I say? Junko took away the memories of former students of Hope's Peak Academy and forced them to kill each other. Former students of Hope's Peak Academy, and she took away their memories. That's just like us. Apparently the whole thing was being filmed by surveillance cameras and broadcast worldwide. There's a limit being a cruel asshole. The surveillance cameras were broadcasting the whole thing? The students of Hope's Peak Academy are widely known as symbols of hope. By forcing people to watch these symbols of hope kill each other for the sake of survival, they were trying to fill everyone who watched the broadcast with despair all at once. That's messed up. But that messed up plan was stopped. Junko Enoshima failed. Junko lost to the students she placed in her trap, and after being overcome by the despair she created, she took her own life. Then Junko's no more. No matter how horrible she was, there's no reason to fear someone who's dead. You see, the fact that you're saying she's dead so many times and trying to hammer it home makes me think that she's gonna come back in some way. I mean, she already kind of did in the form of Monokuma, but let's ignore that. Whether Monokuma's story is true or not doesn't matter. Junko Inoshima isn't alive anymore. Then, who is our enemy? It was him all along. If Junko Inoshima is already dead, are the rest of the Ultimate Despairs behind this? Are the followers of Junko carrying out her will? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, the killings were involved and resembled that killing school life. Well, I don't know who the hell's imitating Junko and making us go through this, but an imitation is just that, an imitation. If the students from Hope Sweet Academy stop the real deal, there's no way we'll lose to someone fake. But if this really is an imitation, are the surveillance cameras the same too? The cameras all over Jabberwock Island. Are they broadcasting this somewhere, just like the surveillance cameras during the killing school life? Enoshima Junko Despair Ultimate has been updated in your handbook. Man, Hajime, you totally know about that story, huh? What? Do you have a problem with that? Well, I really wanted you to read the manga version since I took the time to draw it. Ah, well, I'll just raise the flag. The flag? What do you mean, raise the flag? What's going to happen if you do that? One step at a time, you're getting closer to clearing my character out. You're not making any sense again. Now then, I'll give you guys my all. I'll tell you everything, including information on the outside and the inside. I'll raise them flags like crazy. Well, that's good to know. But wait. Huh? It changed to a different hallway again. It's so sudden. What's going on to make this happen? No, I've already decided that I'm not going to be surprised. That's right. There's no time for me to be surprised by something like this.